Hello, so we're now going to set up the SSL VPN for SonicWall on a mobile phone. This here is an iPhone. I'm using an iPhone 10. Just to confirm that although this video is from an iPhone, this will also work on an iPad, and you can also download these same apps on an Android phone or an Android tablet. You download them from the Google Play Store, and those links are all in the SSL VPN guide. Once you've installed the app, it does work exactly the same on an Android device as it does on this iPhone. We're going to open the App Store, and in the App Store we're going to search for SonicWall, which is all one word. We'll see the SonicWall app. It's called SonicWall Mobile Connect, and next to it there would be a get symbol. If you haven't downloaded it before, it's free. I've downloaded it before, so I've got a cloud symbol here. I'm just going to press to download. If you haven't signed into the App Store before, you'll need to provide an Apple ID and password. Once you've provided the Apple ID and password, it will download. So it's downloading now. And once it's downloaded, this little button will change to an open. If we open it, we'll go directly to the app. And also, if we look on our screen of apps here, we see it here. So we can click it to open it. We've got a statement here. We're going to press accept on our statement, and we need to add a connection. So to add a connection, we use the guide that will have been emailed out to you. There is a generic guide available on our website as well, and with the generic guide there is no server address in there. The server address should have been provided to you by your employer. If it hasn't been provided to you by your employer, if you send an email to connect@setsat.com asking for your SSL VPN connection details, they'll provide it for you. What I do recommend is that you set this up first on a Windows device or a Mac device, just to make sure it's definitely working before you try and do it on a mobile, as remote support for a mobile phone is much more difficult. So on here we're going to create a new connection. We're going to put the name in of what the connection is, so we're going to call this SetsAT SSL VPN. You can call it whatever you fancy, but company name SSL VPN tends to be the best way of doing it. We're then going to put our server details in. These are blanked off on this video because we don't want you to know what our server address is. I'm going to press next, and then it should authenticate through, and it's going to ask for your login details. Again, these are masked out because we don't want you using our details. And we're going to press save. When we press save, it's going to say, I want to add a configuration. We're going to say yes, and it's going to ask for a PIN number. And that is us now connected. We've got it there. We press X to close that down, and we can see the connection on here. So VPN is simply a case of turning on the VPN, and it should connect. When you connect to the VPN, for the first time, it will ask you if you want to use, I've got an iPhone 10 here, so an iPhone 10, 10s, 11 or 11 Pro, or the 10R, they've all got the face camera on there, so it will ask if you want to use Face ID. For anyone else, this will come up and say, do you want to use Touch ID? And this is just a way of it saving your password on your phone, so you don't have to put your password in every time. So I'm just going to press yes for now. That is me connected. If we look at the monitor, we can see we're connected, and I've got an internal IP address here. My telephone is now connected to my work's office via a VPN, and I can access the local resources. If we go back to the connection and turn it off, it's simply a case of turning it off there, turning it back on. We use Face ID, and we're good to go. So I'll disconnect now. To confirm, once you're connected, you will be able to access anything that's on your normal works network, so you'll be able to use RDP files for remote desktop. You can also access mapped network drives if you know the credentials and what you need to access. The best thing to do there is check with a colleague who is already using it, or check with your employer if they've got guides that they can provide you. If not, and there's something you need to be able to access that you would normally access from a phone, if you send an email to connect@setsat.com, making sure you include your name, your position, your company, and a contact telephone number, most importantly the contact telephone number, with some details of what the issue is and what you're trying to achieve, someone will get back to you as soon as they can. Thank you for watching.